if there's, I'm just gonna have to call this. But hi, how you doing, everybody? I'm Tom Linsky, and this is my buddy Eric. We are on board the SS Lane Victory, a World War II victory ship, and we're stationed at San Pedro, California. How long has it been here for? How many years?
Since 1989.
1989. It does do voyages, but not at the present time, and we're just fixing her up. It's a livable, active ship. So, yeah, I'll show you the galley first. What I want to do actually first in this stream, this is just a real quick on-the-go kind of travel thing, because I am on the West Coast. We're going to be on the ship, and then tomorrow we're going out on a voyage aboard the Resolute. You might remember I did a video aboard the Resolute going out to Catalina Island. Well, tomorrow we're sailing for a full week this time instead of 3 days. We're stopping in Catalina Island for the Art Deco Ball, which is going to be pretty exciting. Everyone on the boat is going to that. And then we're heading out to the Channel Islands. There's a ghost town out there that's just completely abandoned, supposedly untouched, and we're going to go see what there is to explore. Other comments, Emma?
Everyone's saying hi, and also
hi.
that the quality's kind of bad.
I figured the quality would be kind of bad. That's, yeah.
There's 35 people there now.
Well, we're on a ship.
Hi, everyone.
That's why, you know, there's like layers of steel around us. We're in the galley. Eric, why don't you show us the galley and speak up, because it's very noisy here.
Yeah. So right now, one of our crew members is cooking some stew, beef stew. Been simmering for about 4 or 5 hours now.
Oh, it looks so good.
Everything in this galley is 250 volt DC. So these ranges are all electrical, the ovens are electrical. These are the controls for the ovens and the plates. All scary stuff when you're trying to do some general maintenance and repair work on all the electrical components.
There's also quite a bit in this galley, and all throughout the ship, that is vintage to the end of World War II, or at least the Vietnam and Korea era. She was active until 79, right?
Yeah.
79. She was active until 79, and she continued as a museum ship. She was mothballed for about 10 years, and then continued as a museum ship. Oh, thanks for turning that off, Eric. Sailing coastal voyages. Where would you like to go? Well, we're on the Wi-Fi, which works inside. And if we go out on deck, we lose the Wi-Fi and connect to data, and I don't know if that's going to cut the stream. So let's wander around, and would you just keep an eye on the signal, Emma? And
Yeah.
keep an eye on the chat.
People of the chat, tell us if it gets too hard to watch.
We're doing our best. We are going to take you down to the engine room. That's going to be pretty exciting. We will try if the Wi-Fi works.
Show them the mess room?
Yeah, the mess room. It is lived in. So we use this. This is pretty active. The fridge broke, so that will be replaced eventually. Eventually, yes. And we had our meals here last night. That's about it. Off to the next location. Eric, why don't we go take a look at the cabin?
We can take a look at the cabin. Right this way.
Oh, we got Josh. Thank you very much for that super chat. I didn't. What did it say?
Hang on, I gotta click it.
Was this used for Titanic's engines? And why was it? You remember the Liberty ship Jeremiah O'Brien? Yeah. They used the Liberty ship Jeremiah O'Brien, which I think is in San Francisco. Yeah. Yeah, they used that for some of the engines in
What they
cabins.
used us for was our wake, our digital. They used our wake and slapped it on as Titanic's wake.
Yeah.
That's the only glory that this ship got.
That's the. I think the $1 million shot that they call it. You know, the nickname where Jack says, "I'm the king of the world," and the camera pans back, sweeps the whole ship, and as it's pulling back, you see the wake of the Titanic. That, as you just said, was this ship. The ship's not in it, but the ship helped that shot. Let's see the cabin.
This is an example of a cabin. This would actually, since we're on the main deck, usually would be allocated to deck crew. But sometimes if you had an overflow of engineers and you needed less deck people, this would have been given to engineers. So there's a lot of shuffling of cabins going on around, but it's generally used for deck division.
Cool. All right, so yeah, that's the cabin. These are actually surprisingly comfortable. We all sleep in cabins just like this one. It's original linens from the ship. Yes, they are washed frequently, but these are original linens from the ship. Most furniture is all original, with the exception of maybe things like that chair or something. But the beds themselves and the lockers and the benches and the fans.
These rooms look as built.
As built, that's right. And they're maintained by people like you, Eric. Good work. This is pretty cool. And as you can see, like I keep saying, since it is an active vessel, you have to have modern, up to code life belts in every cabin. One thing that's pretty cool, you see this in some ships. Almost every ship has this, and it's a little harder to see in some of them, but you can clearly see the ship's camber. If we walk a little bit down that corridor behind you and then look this way, you'll see the camber, and that camber is the arching of the ship across itself. There's the shear, which is lengthwise, camber is across side to side, and you can see it. This is more of a parallelogram shape than a perfect square. Do you see it in the camera? We gotta move down the corridor.
Yeah. Pristine Steam Navigation Company just sent $4.99.
Oh,
Thank
you.
you.
Very much. Did they say
They
that?
said 7.
Just the number 7?
Just the number 7.
That's great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's a good number.
It is a good number. Let's see. So I'm actually going to be here in California until June 1st, and right now I have the Collins line of documentaries coming out. They're all automated, so they will be scheduling while I'm away and on the road. But we're out here right now. I had to come out for a business meeting initially because we're trying to. I can't go into that, but it's just for my day job. And then Eric has graciously hosted me here, me and Emma here aboard the Lane Victory. We are officially crewmen, so we've also been putting in volunteer time. That's why I look filthy. We were just actually painting the windlass up forward, the brakes on the windlass. And then, as I said earlier in the stream, we're sailing out to the Channel Islands to explore and film a ghost town out there, hopefully. If not, we'll at least get a cool voyage video. And then Emma and I are driving home here from LA. Except we've done that before, but this time we're going up the coast and we're shooting some shipwrecks along the way. We're meeting up with some friends. We're going to be filming a few documentaries along the California and Oregon and Washington coasts. Some of you know my SS Atlantic series from way back when, and I was always intrigued by the story of the Davidson women, Larston and Lillian, who are traveling in saloon class. And there's this mystery photo of their grave, and we've never been able to pinpoint it. Supposedly, according to the internet, it's in Camp Hill Cemetery in downtown Halifax, which makes sense, but that's not there. And I've actually talked to the archivists there. They said there's no record of that. And if you look closely at the photograph, it looks more like tropical or desert brush in the background. So some people have speculated in the comments that maybe that's in California, because that's where Lauriston's brother was, that they were traveling to, in Telegraph City. And Telegraph City is now a ghost town. So we're passing that, and I'm gonna stop there and see if we can actually find the grave and see what's left of the town, do a little video on that, and tie that whole thing together. And hopefully that grave is there. We're stopping in other states along the way, Montana, and filming a whole bunch of towns there, and then we're meeting up with some friends as we cross the country. Hopefully going to be meeting Tom from Histo Brick. He's got a farm he's gonna let us stay at, so that's pretty neat. And then just shooting documentaries all along the way. So this is the first leg of the journey, and since I'm kind of going to be inactive on social media, I just wanted to do this stream sort of as a substitute for the Patreon stream that I'm going to be doing each month. I know this is public, but I figured this ship is just so cool, I want to share it. I do have videos queued up eventually about the Lane Victory, different history bits, but there's a couple of things I'm waiting on with that, and you're going to learn more about this ship. It's very colorful history. So enough of me rambling, why don't we hit the next spot?
If you want to get a camber shot, if you have range, try going out to the deck and looking towards the face of the superstructure.
Okay, yeah, definitely. And also a super chat from DC, 11,961. Thank you for all your hard work, helping me get into all things maritime. I've learned a lot and can't wait to keep learning. Thank you so much for that. That's very generous of you, and I'm always happy to share that. That's why here we are on a ship, and I wanted to do this stream. Let's see that camber, my friend.
Pristine Steam Navigation also sent another one.
Oh,
And it says
gonna be windy
Titonia
out here, so-
Nanic. Titonia Nanic.
all right. Thank you. Here we are. This is where we might start losing signal because we might fall off the Wi-Fi. But so what you're seeing is how the ship goes uphill. That's not the camber. That's the shear. But you can. All right. See the seal down there? They bark all throughout the night. I don't think that was.
That was a seal.
That was the seal. It's pretty funny. Sometimes you just like to lean over the railing here. By the way, I hope the wind's not hitting the mic.
They said there's a bit of lag, so we should probably go back in soon, but
Okay. Well, you can lean over the railing and watch the seals hunting for fish because they get stuck between the hull and the pier, and they fight each other. They play around. They catch fish, and every so often they just come up choking and gagging, and it sounds like a really sick dog. Let's just go back to playing. We are in Southern California, as I said earlier, and it is currently in its natural state of being on fire. There's actually a very, very serious one spreading, but right up the street here, yesterday when we were driving to my work for lunch, we saw a fire on the side of the road. Supposedly it was a camp, and it was burning. We stopped. I called 911. The fire department came and they put it out. Everything was taken care of. We moved on. They moved on. And we were driving home. 3 hours later, it was on fire again. So that's California. Well, I like the little nooks and crannies on this. There's actually a part on the Titanic that's similar to this where if you imagine this as Scotland Road on E-deck, there's actually a section where you can step off of the road and go down a stairwell, and you're kind of just, it's a dead end. There's some stuff down there, and I believe it's just a dead end, and you have to just come back up that stairwell, and that's pretty much what this is too. Down here are the dry stores and the laundry. Hopefully we got Wi-Fi. Eric, can I show them the dry stores, or?
It's just messy.
It's a mess. We're working on cleaning the ship up. Eric's doing most of the work since we usually are on the East Coast.
Yeah, Emma, if you go in there, you're gonna lose signal.
Oh, we will?
oh,
Eh,
yeah,
we will.
bad.
There's neat stuff in there. There's a whole bunch of old World War II era pots, pans, silverware, dishes. And of course, some modern stuff from when the ship would do pleasure cruises. When was the last pleasure cruise, Eric?
I wouldn't call it a pleasure cruise. It'd be more of an adventure cruise.
Okay.
Because we did mock air battle. We'd have a spy on board that people would have to hunt down, and after he was caught in the radio room, they would come and planes from an air museum would come and attack the ship at sea.
Wow. I think you'll be continuing that again?
Sorry?
You think you'll be continuing
Oh.
that again?
Eventually, that's the goal.
All right, cool.
It's just a matter of time.
All right. We did get another super chat asking a mathematical question. I'm gonna leave that one.
Oh wait, someone asked, what was the year of her completions, and should we expect a legit exterior shot in this stream?
I want to, but every time we go out on deck, we start losing signal. Yes, we're going to go on a suicide mission at the end of this and head out on deck and hopefully get a shot. It'll switch over to data. It's just that transition when it comes off the Wi-Fi and goes to the data. We're going to try it. We just don't want to lose the stream yet. So let's take a look around a little bit more inside. She was finished in 45, right, Eric? 45. 45. And did she sail before the war ended? Yes. You can feel the rocking as we walk. It's pretty neat. Looking down here, I don't think you'll be able to notice it, it's blasted out. But you can sometimes see, especially in higher winds, you can see the horizon going up and down. One thing that is, I think, pretty touching, there are these plaques all throughout the interior accommodations of the ship. And these commemorate different victory and liberty ships that were lost during the Second World War. There's a plaque of each of their names. They're not at all represented, unfortunately, because you were saying earlier today, how many were lost during the Second World War?
Quite a lot. The Merchant Marine suffered the highest mortality rate of any branch in the armed forces. And what you see here around the ship is all that we could just fit in the corridors.
But there was, you said how many, like 2,000 lost? Almost 2,000?
Well, collectively and throughout all ships and all classes.
Oh, okay.
2,000 Liberty ships were built, 534 Victory ships were built. I'm not too sure how many C1s, C2s, and C3s were built collectively.
Okay. Yeah, these each represented one thing, as you just touched on. This is Merchant Marine, or the Lane Victory was Merchant Marine, and meaning it's not Navy. These are not enlisted men on board. There's a lot more freedoms in the Merchant Marine because they're civilians. You know, they're not held here as part of their enlistment orders. They are free to come and go as they please. They get paid better and they eat better. But they are also civilians going into combat, and they suffered a lot of casualties. Let's take a peek in the engine room and then we'll try the deck.
Yeah, let's go down there.
All right.
We'll enter through the main deck hatch.
I see another super chat there. What did that say, Emma?
No, the last super chat was the math question.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
So how is everybody doing out there today on the stream? It's good to see you guys. Definitely don't read that while you're going down the stairs.
Yep.
Tell you what, before we jump in there, how about we see the museum real quick? Can we
yeah, of course. Show me an example of a cargo hold.
So yeah, we're going into one of the cargo holds. This is number 3, correct? Number 4. Let me give a quick history about the lane. And Eric, you're the experts who jump in. Correct me, add anything you want.
Yeah, we'll do.
So this ship was launched during the Second World War, 1945, just caught the tail end of the war, but she really had her moment of glory during Korea when she was evacuating Korean civilians as North Korea was becoming North Korea. What was the city she was evacuating?
Hangnam.
Hangnam. And this ship, obviously the museum was not here. This was just a standard cargo hold, and there were cargo holds the whole length of the ship. And she was ordered, her crew were ordered, to just pick up equipment, tanks and jeeps and anything else, ammunition, whatever. Just pick that stuff up and prevent that from falling into the hands of the North Koreans. And instead of taking any equipment, what they did was they just took North Koreans because as it was becoming North Korea, the regime was re-educating is the polite way of saying, but massacring them. And so squeezed onto this small boat, called it a boat, squeezed onto this small ship. How big are we?
We are 465 feet long with a beam of around 63 feet.
And on board they fit 6,000 or 7,000 civilians, just crammed into every cargo hold. It was hot. It was muddy.
Actually, it was cold. It was
cold,
people
really?
were freezing on here.
Oh.
It was during wintertime in December.
Oh, it still stink.
It did.
It still stink.
The voyage lasted 3 days. These cargo holds were crammed with refugees. They had nothing to eat. Whatever they had, that's it. If you brought like a snack from home, that's all you had for 3 days. There are records. There is actually a book out there called The Last Victory. It is a complete history record of this ship and what she did. In that book, there are eyewitness accounts from either crew members or people who were on that evacuation. Where are you going to go? If you're in a cargo hold, what do you do when you have to use the restroom? You go where you are. So there are records of just steam cleaning these holds after the voyage. It was not the best of conditions for 3 days. But they made it. They were alive, and they were thankful that they escaped that tyrannical regime.
Of course. So this is a hold. This is now a museum. I saw a message come in asking if I'm going to do another update on the Lusitania. Yeah, of course, when I get back. We do have some neat things to show, and I'm kind of hoping we just do one more update before we drop the trailer. But now we are digressing. This is a collection of artifacts. Some of it is just general military history. I mean, for example, over here, we have a...
Ivan's asking, can you guys speak up just a little bit more?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's... If we turn away, we start to... Yeah. Yes, absolutely. We got a Kriegsmarine display over here, the German Navy, particularly focusing on the Second World War because they were the hunters of these ships when they were sailing over to Europe. And we have a U-boat, U-505. We have a Kar-98 rifle, an MP-40. These were all donated. And
Yeah, let's just show this.
that's a beautiful U-boat model. Yeah. So, that said, there's a model, right? There's a model of the Lane Victory.
There's a model of a Liberty and a Victory ship right over there in that corner.
Let's go see that in case we can't get a good exterior shot. So you at least have an idea of what this ship looks like. By the way, model of the Queen Mary right here. And another, sorry, saw something. Another neat model of a ship that I appreciate is the SS Catalina right here. She was built in the 20s, and she actually saw service during the Second World War as a coastal tender, but she would sail passengers back and forth between Southern California mainland and Catalina Island, and believe it or not, she holds the record for the most people carried during her career. The most passengers carried during her career. It's something like 25 million over the course of her decades of service. So the Queen Mary, which you just saw a model of, holds the record for most people on a single voyage. Right next to it, the model, is the SS Catalina, holding the record for most people during her career. This is one of those tankers, right?
That's a D2. That's the one you heard about from last night.
That's right. All right, Eric. We have a Victory ship here. This is the Lane Victory. Actually, this is ours. We are right about in here. And behind it is a Liberty ship. The Liberty ship was the iconic cargo freighter of the Second World War. However, she had a fatal flaw. She tended to break in half and sink and go down of natural causes, not even getting struck by a torpedo or a mine. The Victory ship is very similar to the Liberty ship, but she is an upgrade in every conceivable way. She has a lot more flex to her, so she wasn't susceptible to breaking in half. You'd also notice the raised forecastle up here.
Yeah. A lot more cargo space too, and different propulsion speed.
Yeah. But she is essentially the successor
Exactly.
to the Liberty ships. All right, let's go hit the engine room now. Without further ado, I do recommend, by the way, if you are in the Los Angeles area and would like to come out and visit the ship, when do you guys open, Eric?
We're open 9 to 5, Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Oh, by the way, Emma. There you go. You were looking for an iron earlier.
Oh, can't use that one.
I think there is one in dry stores. I thought I saw one in there.
Yeah, I'll look later.
We do actually live aboard the ship right now. Eric lives aboard it full time.
It's pretty fun. Love it.
And we're here just whenever we're in Los Angeles. The engine room.
If we start losing it, see if you can pass through into the machine shop, because I know there's a rudder
Okay.
down there.
So people call it out if we start losing signal.
Lifeboats.
Who was that?
General
General Toppet.
People asked about
Have
it.
you been by to see them scrap Queen Mary's lifeboats? We did, and I actually filmed a bunch of it. Okay, haha, signal dropped. Okay. All right, let's get the heck out of here. Is it back? Is it back, guys? Oh no, it's lagging. Yeah, it's gonna happen. I did film the whole engine room. Okay, it's back now. It's back now.
Yeah, just
You missed the fun part. We went all over the engine room.
Yeah. All right, here you go, Emma. So some people were asking, I don't know if that part got cut off, if we went over to see them scrapping the Queen Mary's lifeboats. Yes, I filmed it, a whole bunch of footage. I'm actually hoping to do a video on the Queen Mary and her lifeboats. Yeah, just as a little memorial to it. A lot of the ones that were scrapped were not actually original to the ship. So
I think none of them were, but the two originals are still on the ship.
So what are these other ones? Are they?
They're like the little safety boats. They're not like the full-size lifeboats. Tinier.
Well, the ones still on the Queen Mary.
Yeah,
But I mean, these prop lifeboats, did they see service with other ships? And they just
Some of them.
Okay.
It's really hard to tell which is which.
Stand over here so you don't have to whip pan.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so some of them
Yeah.
saw it. Okay.
So I know for sure of one, and that was lifeboat 23. That was Sylvania's lifeboat.
So these aren't historic.
Some of them are. Some of them were built in the 70s just for the Queen Mary.
Yeah, that's what I figured. We did go out and we saw them, and you know what? It was kind of depressing, to say the least. But they had this claw ripping it apart, and it just almost looked like a rabid dog tearing the boats apart, because the boats would get jostled about as it was getting torn apart, and they tear a piece off, put it in a dumpster. We actually tried to get a souvenir, but we were told for environmental reasons they're not safe, so we can't take anything. What's up, Emma?
Historic Travels sent $5 and asks if you guys know when the Queen Mary is going to open up again.
Thank you very much, Sam. No. I wish. We've been trying to find that one out too.
There's a rumor. I don't know if it's true. Either late this year or next year. But it's a rumor, so it's not. It shouldn't be considered gospel.
But it's looking hopeful.
It's looking hopeful. They are working. When we visited, there were maintenance men around. There was quite a lot of business going on the ship.
If I were to speculate, and I feel like this is a safe assumption, but the lifeboats being torn up is a good sign. It's not a great sign, you know, I know a lot of us would love to see the boats preserved, but it's actually a good sign because it means that somebody else is looking into preserving the Queen Mary. And they might have different priorities than us, but they're at least stepping in, because I've been aboard the Queen Mary. Those lifeboats are in bad shape, and they're kind of a hazard. They collect rainwater, It just pulls in them, and they hang over the heads of the general public, significantly over the heads, and they are about 10,000 pounds each. That's a huge liability. So if they're being torn up, and they did try to preserve them, they did try to find buyers, if they're being torn up, it tells me there's inspectors going in and they are trying to...
The whole reason they got torn up and no nonprofit entity was accepted, it all comes down to the lead paint. Now, you may not think it's a big deal. However, if someone were to obtain a lifeboat and someone gets lead poisoning, that puts the city is liable. And they are just trying to avoid lawsuits and damage to health. And they don't want to give a lifeboat that would be misused and not preserved properly.
So there's good reason as to why no one has been able to acquire them, and I do think it's actually a good sign, like a Band-Aid getting ripped off, that they're being scrapped.
Thank you, Greg.
Oh,
He says
thank
my
you.
camera work is great.
Oh, good.
Josh
Thank you, Emma.
Kuziak
Hey, Josh.
just sent $4.99. He says, needed video after recently rumors going on a certain thing in PA, not the place for it. Anyway, rumors or news on the SS United States.
Yeah, it's a cool update, or cool news. I don't want to share any rumors. I might be able to do a project with it. That's all. That's it. Nothing too exciting about her current state of it, but I might be able to finally do a project with them. And you might be there. Let's
Hopefully.
hope. Let's hope we can fly out for that.
I'm going to. That's the plan.
All right. I'd say let's try to get out on deck and see if we can quickly switch over from Wi-Fi to data before you drops the stream.
It's lagging a bit here too.
Okay, all right. Well, let's head up. Let's head up. I would love to actually show. There's no way to get to the safety hatch for the propeller shaft outside, is there?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, but isn't there that like little security latch on the inside only?
I got the key.
All right.
There's a little lever that you pull and it disengages.
All right. Well, here we go. We're gonna go out on the deck, and hopefully it'll switch over. If you lose me, I'm sorry. How is it, guys? Is there still signal? Is it still streaming? I think there is a router down this way, so we might have better Wi-Fi towards the stern, but we are walking aft. Are we allowed to say what was being worked on here, or no?
No, I don't think so.
All right, play it safe.
We signed a NDA. All we can say is there's filming going on the ship right now.
All right, I just got a whole bunch of messages coming in, so I assume that's it. It did its transition, and now we're on date. Is it good? Is it clear? If it's clear, I just turned off Wi-Fi. So you're. I don't know. No, it's not gonna work outside. More sirens,
Another fire.
probably.
Same spot again.
All right, who's still here? Outside. By the way, here's all those plaques I was talking about. These are all people who them, but all of these are people who were lost in the All right, we gotta go find my boy. There he is.
I had to sneak a bite.
Where would you like to go, Eric?
Well, going to the office is word.
Signal's pretty lousy, so I think I might call this a day soon. All right, so it's telling me that I keep losing signal. I know that. I can see that. I know a lot of people here in the comments are saying that. I'm gonna just This is where we had success. Okay, so Nick says the stream is fine. So, where did you say there was a router in the engine room?
Oh, it's in the machine shop, number 3.
You want to make a run for it?
A run?
Yeah, before we just straight up drop completely.
It's a suicide mission, but we can do it.
Let's do it. You guys want to see the engine rooms? I'm sure you do. I want to. Yeah, okay.
Well, let's attempt.
All right. Emma, do you want to go with us, or do you want to?
Do you want me to film? I'll film.
I'll give you the camera when we get down there, so you're not tripping.
Let's go do this. Can you go down little steep ladders, or do you want to go down the Emma?
Sorry, what?
You want to go down this? Are you okay with the steep
Yeah,
ladders?
I'm fine.
Okay.
My wife here is 6 months pregnant, so I don't want to be dragging her around too much, or taking her into anywhere dangerous. So that's why Eric was just asking about that. Face the ladder when you're. Leaving Emma behind because she's slow. She is the weakest one here.
Is it working?
That blue?
Yeah. So you're supposed to be receiving connection.
My friends, if I got bad signal right now, I don't know what else to do because this is the router. There. I don't know. God, I look like a total mess after working all day. All right, who's out here?
It's working.
It's good? It's good. It's good.
Okay.
All right.
So it's doing its job.
Yep, I don't know if that part cut out, but there's the router. All right, Eric.
Well, this is another cargo hold we have on board this ship. This is just forward of the superstructure. Every cargo hold forward of the superstructure has 3 tween decks. We are in hold number 3, middle. So there's a deck above us and a deck below us. We've repurposed this hold as a machine shop, so that way we can refabricate whatever part we need, because no one makes World War II victory ship parts anymore. So if something breaks in our engine room, we're kind of on our own to refabricate it.
Check out these cargo hatches. These old wooden ones with the hand grips. I think I got someone critiquing my pronunciation of router.
What's it supposed to?
I don't know.
sound
They
like?
just spelled it and put an asterisk. All right, look at all these spare parts. I want to show you guys the wrench we were playing with yesterday. We were trying to get one of the pulleys upstairs loosened, and there was a nut that just wouldn't come off. So we were working with wrenches this big. I guess you won't get a good sense of scale.
Here, give the camera so they can see what we're doing.
I think the one that you used is bigger. It was almost.
Yeah,
I remember it was almost as tall as you.
Yeah, we had bigger ones upstairs, and they're still up there, up on deck. But sometimes you gotta pull out the big equipment ones. All this spare parts throughout here. There's actually a hold down below which is packed with paper manuals. So if you wanted to buy your own victory ship, it's a complete set of user manuals for every part on the ship. The most complete archive. And hopefully we can digitize that at some point. That'd be pretty cool. But that's, we would not have signal down there. I can't show that. So this...
Actually, we might, because it's right under the museum. And the museum has the Wi-Fi router.
We can give it a shot.
can try.
I don't want to annoy
Do you
people
want
with
this? Well,
losing this connection.
I
all
can
the time.
scout ahead if we want. It's only across the engine room
No, I don't know if scouting would actually work because it says I have full signal this whole time. And
Oh, really?
I don't.
Oh.
I don't.
So it lies to you.
Oh, yeah. My phone always lies to me. So there's not too much exciting to see inside this machine shop. It's just equipment and hardware, none of which I've actually used aside from that wrench.
All of this equipment's, almost all of it is World War II.
Yeah.
I mean, check it out. You got this plaque over here. Watch your step. The finish of this machine conforms to the regulations of the War Production Board. So this is all crap we've hoarded and used.
And it still works.
Still works.
It still works because you guys take great care of this.
Oh, we try our best.
This is one of the most complete victory ships, right?
Yeah, so far we were actually the first victory ship to be turned into a museum. There's 2 other victory ships in existence. That is our sisters, the American Victory and the Red Oak Victory.
And what's pretty cool is this ship is seaworthy. She's floating. She's not resting or anything like that. She's got great hull integrity, and she is more than capable of heading out under steam. Now, right now, the boiler is disassembled because they're doing maintenance on it, and they are doing some other work. She's got to be dry docked, but it is a functional ship that will be back into service hopefully soon. I can't speak for them, but hopefully soon, within the next year or 2. I love these cross beams under the hatches above.
Those are called strongbacks.
Strong backs, wow. They can take a lot of weight.
Yeah, these have, I believe, 30, maybe 20-ton weight limit on them.
Are we still transmitting? I haven't seen a
No.
comment in a while.
Whole bunch.
Oh, good.
We're good.
There's this part towards the aft end, and every time I come and visit you, I have to climb up it. But it's the escape route for if the ship is hit, going down, and down in the engine room, the torpedo will blow this ship in half. You run down Shaft Alley, which is the propeller shaft. It's this auxiliary passage going down to the far end of the stern, and just out under the fantail is a vertical shaft. Almost every ship has this. And it's a tight ladder. You have to climb like this. It's that cramped. There's no lights in there, or at least
Oh, there's 1 or 2 light bulbs on there.
yeah.
Just enough to see where you're putting your hands.
And you're climbing up. And I can't help but envision the horror of if this ship were going down, or if you're on another ship during the war that's going down. She's rolling over. The angle is changing quickly. The power might be completely out. You're going up at single file, and it's a good 30
That's
feet,
30, 40 feet. That's
Yeah.
a long, long climb.
And then you come up to this hatch up on the main deck, and you have to get that open. You have to loosen all the dogs, and which are the
Latches.
latches, yeah. And then you have to push that thing open, and that's a heavy door, especially if the ship is leaning against it. It's scary.
Well, yeah, but you'd do it in 2 seconds if it was a real situation.
Sure, there'd be no hesitation. But it's going up. It kind of sends a chill down your spine for what these men went
You
through.
also see on every single porthole, welded to the bulkhead is a pull bar
Yep.
that you can use to hoist yourself out the porthole. And when I give tours, I get people saying, "Oh, I would never be able to fit through that." If there's a fire in your room and you are going down, you won't believe what you'll fit through.
Oh, I know.
You'd be out that porthole so quick.
There was a man whose story I was just reading about, and I can't believe I don't even remember what ship at this point, because he was either on the Empress of Ireland or the Lusitania or one of them, just reading about it. He actually broke his shoulders because he couldn't fit through that porthole as the ship was going under, but he forced himself through.
Yeah.
If your life depends on it, you're going to force yourself through. But still, when you're sitting here calmly and you're not in an emergency situation, it's chilling to look at that and think that you could be put into that situation. That's just the heroism these people had. Brave story.
Just a warning.
Yeah,
You're on
battery.
10%, yep.
10% battery? I was almost full at the beginning of this.
I know, I think the live stream's killing it.
Well, that makes sense. All right. I switched over to data out on the deck and I still lost it. All right, guys, my phone's about to go. I want to say goodbye, but then I want to, like I said, suicide mission, go pick a place and just see if I can show it before I lose signal or battery. Where do you guys want to go? You want to go see more in the engine room, shaft alley, out on the deck? What do you want? Let's see the comments. Tell me what people are saying.
Yep, just waiting.
So we'll pick one of those and then go for it.
We are going to, it's a guarantee that you'll lose the signal.
I know, but they might be able to see a frame of it.
Oh.
Well, in the meantime,
Say your goodbyes now.
yeah. All right. Well, in the meantime, while people are responding, I want to say thank you for tuning in. I do have videos planned for the Lane Victory. You're going to learn a lot about this ship and also other Victory ships. And if you haven't already, check out my Patreon, patreon.com/PartTimeExplorer, and stay tuned for my Collins Line series. I've got one coming out tomorrow about the Collins Line fleet, profiling all 5 of their ships in a similar vein to my White Star Line fleet. Okay, my battery's gonna go. What's up?
Yeah,
Rose?
most people said deck. Deck. The deck, please.
Let's get up. All
Let's
right.
try.
Do you think that we'd be able to go out Shaft Alley?
You're
I'm gonna lose it.
going to lose it in Shaft Alley, so you won't regain it. So
All right, we'll take the direct route up to the deck.
we can go.
You got a key here?
I do have a key. Moment.
It's gonna go black whether I lose signal or not because it's so dark up there. So we're in the middle level of this hold. This is the upper level above, and then we get to the deck. So it's gonna get dark, and Emma, just hold on to my shirt. Oh, you got a light?
Thank you.
Ah, never mind.
It's hot.
Hold 3 upper. Oh my gosh, you guys can't see that, but there's a man laying dead right there.
Oh, jeez.
I don't even know if I'm transmitting right now. Here's all these Lane Victory life rings.
Probably gone.
There are dummies on board for both the museum and for CPR training. All right, here.
Go up forward so you can see the camber.
Okay, heading out on deck. We're gonna go forward. I came out aft, but I wanted to show you this. Oh, the wind is so high. Okay. Heading up forward. Gonna lose the signal or battery any minute. Here we go. We were climbing those last time we were out here. Way up to the top. I had to remove a satellite dish from right up there. We of course were harnessed in. Everything we do is regulation and done safely. If my signal is still holding, I'm going to show you the work we were doing. This is the forecastle, raised forecastle. Got deactivated anti-aircraft guns here. This is the windlass for the anchors. We're just painting that. And yesterday, Eric and I greased up the main mechanism gears inside there. And
Oh, it runs real quiet.
oh yeah, you wanna? Wish we could run it.
You can if you want to take the paper off.
Okay, let's do it as the battery's going. Apparently the signal's good right now.
Great.
What about this piece? Okay, these are this is the windlass for the anchors. I have video from a year ago when we ran this thing and it was super loud, clangy and banging around. We just greased it yesterday and it's pretty dang quiet. He's just releasing the pins. gonna lose the battery before it goes, I'm sure. Doesn't it just sound like you're shoving your face in a green bean casserole?
I can go a little faster.
Yeah, switch to second gear. All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for the super chats. Thanks for all the involvement and questions and being a part of this little tour. Thank you, Eric, for taking us
My
around.
pleasure.
And thank you, Emma, for doing the camera work. And watch
sir.
out, Eric. Yeah. See you guys later. Thank you very much for tuning in. Bye. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that weird zoom in.
There's lag, so I don't want to cut it off.
No, I get you.
All right, how do I close it?
You should just hit stop. This is the first
There we
time.
go.